Into the theater came Ivan Ilyich Cherdakov, a clerk in the Ministry of Public Parks.
Good evening.
Next came General Mikhail Brazilov, the Minister of Public Parks himself. They move into their seats.
Permit me, sir. I am Cherdakov, Ivan Ilyich Cherdakov. This is a great honor, sir.
Yes.
Like yourself, dear General, I too serve in the Ministry of Public Parks. That is to say, I serve you, who is indeed himself the Minister of Public Parks. I am the Assistant Chief Clerk in the Department of Trees and Bushes.
Yes. Keep up the good work. Lovely trees and bushes this year. Very nice.
I hope you enjoy the play, sir.
I will. If I can watch it. Feeling quite pleased with himself, Ivan sat back to enjoy the theater. And then, without any warning, like a bolt from a grey thunder sky, Ivan Ilyich Cherdakov reared his head back and... We've all had that moment, haven't we? That moment when time slows and is about to go horribly wrong. Sometimes our imaginations get the best of us, and we perceive things to be worse than they really were. It's important to know when it's time to give up control, when it's time to stop letting our mistakes and our doubts fester in our minds like a tumor, slowly killing us from the inside out. Join our loving, albeit awkward protagonist Cherdakov on his unfolding adventure of mistakes and more mistakes in Neil Simon's The Sneeze. Now, where were we? Cherdakov unleashes a monstrous sneeze. The main blow of the sneeze discharges on the back of the general's completely bald head.
Oh my goodness, Your Excellency, so terribly sorry. I'm so terribly sorry.
Never mind. It's all right.
All right. It certainly is not all right. It's unpardonable. It was monstrous of me.
You make too much of the matter. Let it rest.
How can I let it rest? It was inexcusable. Permit me to wipe your neck, General. It's the least I can do.
Leave it be. It's all right, I say.
But I splattered you, sir. Your complete head is splattered. It was an accident, I assure you. But it's disgusting. Shh.
Sorry, my apologies.
The thing is, Your Excellency, it came completely without warning. It was out of my nose before I could stifle it. Shh. Sorry. It's not a cold, if that's what you were. Shh.
They watch the play in silence, and Cherdakov sits back, unhappy with himself. The sneeze, no more than an innocent anatomical accident, grew out of all proportion in his mind. He played the procedure back, slowing it down so we could view again in horror the infamous deed. They all rise and begin to file out of the theater, chattering about the lovely evening they had just spent.
I'm ruined! Ruined! You'll have me fired from Trees and Bushes. They'll send me down to branches and twigs.
Cherdakov's once promising career had literally been blown away.
Perhaps if I were to call on the General and explain matters again, but in such a charming, honest, and self-affecting manner, he would have no choice but to forgive me.
And so the next morning, Chernikov went to the general. This just so happened to be the day that the general had petitions, and since there were 50 or 60 petitions ahead of Chernikov, he waited from morning till late afternoon. Next!
I'm not next, Your Excellency. I'm last.
Very well then. Last!
That's me, sir.
What is your petition?
I have no petition, sir. I'm not a petitioner.
Then you waste my time?
Do you not recognize me, sir? We met last night. Under rather explosive circumstances. I'm the splatterer.
The what?
The sneezer. The one who sneezed. The sneezing splatterer.
Yes. And what is it you want now?
No, Excellency. Your forgiveness. I just wanted to point out that there was no political or antisocial motivation behind my sneeze. I curse the day the protuberance formed itself on my face. It is a hateful nose, and do not punish me for its indiscretions. Exhale my nose, but forgive me, your kinship. Forgive me.
My dear young man, I'm not angry with your nose. I'm too busy to have time for your nasal problems. I suggest you go home, take a hot bath, or a cold one. Take something, but don't bother me with this silly business again. Gibber, gibber, gibber. That's all I've heard all day. Gibber, gibber, gibber.
Thank you, sir. May God bless you and your wife and your household. May your days be sweet, and may your nights be better than your days.
Chernikov went home, singing and whistling like a lark. Life was surely a marvel, a joy, a heavenly paradise.
Oh, I am happy.
And yet,
when
he arrived home, he began to think.
Have I been the butt of a cruel and thoughtless joke?
Had the minister toyed with him?
If he had no intention of punishing me, why did he torment me so unmercifully?
If the sneeze meant so little to the minister, why did he deliberately cause Chernikov to writhe in bed,
to twist in agony the entire night?
Chernikov was furious.
I am furious!
He foamed and fumed and paced the night through, and in the morning he called out to his wife, Sonia!
Sonia, I've been humiliated!
You, Ivan, who would humiliate you? You're such a kind and generous person.
Who? I'll tell you who! General Barazilov! The man's cunning is equal only to his cruelty. He practically forced me to come to his office and grovel and beg on my knees. I was reduced to a gibbering idiot.
You were that reduced?
I must go back and tell him when I think of him. The lower classes must speak up. The world must be made safe so that men of all nations and creeds, regardless of color or religion, will be free to sneeze on their superiors. It is he who will be humiliated by I.
And so the next morning, Chernikov went to humiliate he. Last!
Boom! Yes, you're quite correct. I returned, having taken neither a hot bath nor a cold one.
Who let this filthy man in? What is it?
What is it? What is it? You sit there behind your desk and ask me, what is it? You sit there with full knowledge that there is no equality, that in this life certain events take place that cause some of us to be humiliated, and some of us that are the cause of that humiliation. And still, you ask, what is it?
What is it? Don't stand there jibbering around like an idiot. What is it you want?
I'll tell you what I want. I want wanted to apologize again for sneezing on you. I wasn't sure I made it clear. It was an accident. An accident, I assure you.
Out! Out, you idiot! You fool! You imbecile! Get out of my sight! And if I ever see you again, I'll have you exiled forever! Now! What's your name?
Oh. Chekhov!
You germ spreader! You maggot! You insect! No! You are lower than an insect. You are the second cousin to a cockroach, the son-in-law of a bedbug, the nephew of a ringworm! You are nothing. Nothing, do you hear me? Nothing. At that moment, something broke loose inside of Chernikov. Something so deep and vital, so organic, that the damage that was done seemed irreparable. The matter was over, for once, for all, forever. What happened next is quite simple. Ivan Ilyich Chernikov arrived home, removed his coat, lay down on the sofa. And died.